knowing you can conquer adversity, things like that. Those are the muscle groups that we teach, and those are the muscle groups that you use on a week-to-week basis that get stronger and stronger. And as you experience that success, your confidence, like you said it, that self-esteem grows by a sense of achievement, and achievement grows by a sense of self-esteem. So you get the snowball going. Even if it's going that small, even if the snowball starts out that small, that's all you need is forward momentum, forward progress, and it keeps getting bigger, as you move along. So that's why at 67, even though I can't work Zoom, I want to build a worldwide social network of people empowering one another, because the muscles in my head, say no problem, can withstand the assault of sustained thinking. I'll figure it out. At this point, I knew I had to bring it large enough and tangible enough that people like yourself can say, I get what you're doing. I want to plug in too. So and something else too. In the 80s, I was going to start telling you this. We would pray before every day, me and the small group that was working with me, and we would ask for a scripture. And this one time, we kept getting feeding the 5,000. Like we would say, all right, Lord, if you have a scripture for today, boom, feeding the 5,000. The next day, boom, feeding the 5,000. So by the third day, we go, all right, God, you gave us feeding the 5,000 like 3 days in a row. Can you give us something different? Open it up, boom. Now we're at feeding the 4,000, right? So anyway, now I understand why. And that is that in achievement dynamics, there's ideas and there's processes. People can go in and they can take out, like, what was it feeding the 5,000? With the 7 loaves and 3 fish, right? Every time they reached into the basket and pulled out a fish or loaf of bread, it multiplied, right? So by everyone going in and using the system, we're also leaving ideas behind for the next person. You see, so by us taking ideas and sharing them for ourselves and passing them on, whether those ideas are plans for goals, ways to reach children, whatever it may be, as we're using it, we're also, like you're teaching me everything you say. You see what I'm saying? And there's a place in achievement dynamics where we put that information in the communities that need to be using it. So you see where the metaphor of feeding the 5,000 was a metaphor for the program, because the more people that use it, the richer it's going to get.
Well, I did have a question, because one of the things I noticed with the longevity that you have, are you still going into the schools at all, or is everyone coming to you, so to speak?
Well, I'm going into the schools in a sense that that Renee and Maria, they go into wherever they're called, they have programs that they do. All right, but also during the pandemic, they lost their room. There was a school of nursing over at Arlea Lourdes Medical Center, and that became the COVID room. And so they lost that, and they never got it back. And then Virtual Hospital bought Lourdes, and they picked up the program. And the crazy thing about it was, they the first year they gave Renee and the Bridge the highest award at Virtual Hospital. It's called We're Here for Good Award, and it was the person who's done the most in the community over the last so many years, and she won this award, right? And guess what? 2 years later, they killed her program because they thought it was too much of a ministry, and that Lourdes Medical Center was a ministry. Virtual Hospital is a corporation, you see? And so last February, they said to Renee and Maria, we're going to discontinue your program, but the program's yours. We're giving you all rights to your program. Everything is yours, So they signed everything over to them. So, which worked out perfect, because now they're a private entity. They don't have to get approvals from the hospital to do this, that, or whatever, that type of thing.
That's where we're, because one of the things I know we wanted to be engaged, because one of the problems we have is I have connections in the school systems. I have connections at the Wiggins Center, just in the school I was at as well. But one of the problems is because the kids don't like it would have to either be in the afternoon or in the weekend or in the evening. the biggest problem right now is transportation. Say if it was something in the evening, most of the kids in the school system now with the busing is crazy. So that is not an option. So it would have to be. It's trying to find a way around that to
Yeah.
get the kid again, and that's getting the parents. I wouldn't even mind the parents. I would love for the parents to come and learn at the same time. But I know with the parents there, a lot of times the kids won't be as transparent because their
Mm-hmm.
parents are there. So
Right.
it's so one of the things I know we will want to do is take this. We want to get our foothold in the schools. Um, I know we and there's going to be another speaking engagement for us at Morgan Village later this year to do the same kind of workshop we did last year. So I just don't know when that's coming up yet. So, but it's just things like that. I think just to, I mean, I'm not because we have to be, we go over our budget and everything like that. I think my wife is very intrigued with it just by looking at her face. Like, so this is something that's definitely like
Well,
is it?
it's and here's a couple things that just number one, I met a fella. His name's Leonard, and he developed a program for financial literacy, teaching at-risk youth, and he uses real estate as the I don't know if you call it the metaphor or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
right? But so I'd like to introduce you to him.
Okay.
All right, 'cause if you don't know him already, and number two, and that is uh, the at the Chamber of Commerce, the Southern New Jersey Chamber, about a month ago, Malcolm Jenkins came in
Hmm.
and did a talk. I don't know if you know Malcolm
Yeah,
Jenkins or
he's
not.
football player.
What's that?
The football player, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But do you know him personally? Have you met him?
No, no. I'm a Raiders fan, so.
So, but Malcolm and his wife, they started a foundation like 15 years ago,
Okay.
the Malcolm Jenkins Foundation, and he's teaching financial literacy at Camden High this year, his
Oh,
program.
beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah. And so I reached out to him and said, I'd like to tell you about what we're doing and see how you can
Mm-hmm.
be a part of the whole Youth Achievia thing that we're doing. And they got back to me right away and they said, why don't you reach out to us the week of the 9th? And
Okay.
so I'll be reaching out to him. And also, years ago, I I did a workshop that was called Everything I Need to Know in Life I Learned from Watching Football. And I took my program and I broke it into how football uses every ingredient of the program.
Mm-hmm.
And even game day, I mean not game day, film day
Right.
is where you evaluate and recommit,
Yeah.
right? And so anyway, I can't wait to see where this conversation goes with Malcolm Jenkins because I like to have him as a part of what we're doing.
Right.
And also there was another guy, Marcus Marietta. He was another star.
Yeah, quarterback. Yeah.
He also spoke that day too. So I feel that plugging in the business community. Oh, and also there's a nonprofit that Renee and I have been consulting for years. They're called the Family Support Organization.
Okay.
There's one in every county. The one in Camden County is up on Kings Highway in Cherry Hill,
Okay.
and two of the people that they run an online program for adolescents that have autism.
Hmm.
And this couple was youth. A lot of the youth that came through our program ended up going into social work. And
Okay.
this one couple, Peter and Tia, they run this program on Tuesday nights, and it's online, and it's all adolescents that have autism.
Wow.
And
Okay.
it's the Bridge program.
Right.
So the Bridge program can be done online.
Mm-hmm.
And then even in the empowerment program that I want to do, the community, I mean, the family empowerment, it's about the parents learning the program and teaching it to the kids. So it's
Right.
done at home. And I understand the transportation thing because the youth that came to the bridge, most of them got there because they were involved with a church that had a bus.
Mm-hmm.
And
Gotcha.
and so that's how they got to,
Mhm.
to the bridge program at nights.
Right.
Because you couldn't rely on the parents dropping them off. They had to find their own way there. type of thing. So a lot of them came from the Hispanic churches and such in Camden. I can't remember their names right now, but Renee knows them all. So in any case, no, I'm excited about us all putting our heads together on this thing, and and I'm excited about finding out more about your church, because I feel that there's people in your church community that can be part of the Achievement Dynamics community that can help you build that, and
Definitely.
and even if I know that the price of our membership is very fair compared to what people pay for motivation and training, but at the same time, I would give like a I would give like an 80% discount to anybody at your church if they're willing to come in and help us build these communities. You know what I'm saying? That I would give like a super discount, like $200 a year or something, just so we can get, because when when people come into the program that already have that trust with each other and that relationship, and I teach them how the workshops go, man, that's half the battle. Is that trust is already there, that camaraderie is already there. So to get, and then also the fact that your spirituality is already there. That when people start plugging in from all over the United States or over the world, guess what? We don't. When Renee told me a long time ago that you don't say, "Hi, have you accepted Jesus?" And if you have, come on into our program. No, it's, "Hey, where are you, bud?" It's like, let's, because true missionary work is first you teach people how to plant and how to eat, and when they trust you on that, then they'll listen, then they'll open their heart. You gotta, so you gotta meet people where they are, but to be able to load the program at this point with people from your church that have the spiritual foundation, and then they have the psychological foundation, and they have the friendship that I told Tanya 2 months ago. I said, your church is like the perfect example of where I want to start, because I got to get the energy. Now that I got the system in place, I got to get the energy in place. And so I would love to. You could come here, I could go there, whatever it would take for there's your leadership at the church. I would love to get to know them. And so they can trust that what I'm doing, is all in alignment with the Holy Spirit.
Definitely.
And I feel that your church is one of the launching pads that we could use for this thing. Because they already have everything's in place. It's like the people, the mindset is in place. Talking to you, it's amazing how much all you got to do is get Renee's infrastructure. And because you already have the heart, you already have the understanding, everything that Renee teaches, and Maria, you already have it in you. You've done it. It's so it'd be so awesome, and so I feel very blessed that we got to meet tonight and talk.
Yeah, definitely. We need to schedule a follow up.
You said that there's some information you would send to us.
Yeah. What I'll do is this, and that is that when you go to the site, there's a join button. Right. Well, first of all, there's lots of stuff to look at. It says history. You can see Renee's history, mine. Renee's gotten over 40-some humanitarian awards over the years. You'll see her history. You'll see my history goes back all the way to the 80s. You'll see newsletters I was doing back in 1993, an article in Entrepreneur Magazine, 1994. So you'll kind of see our background, but also you'll see that there's a new member orientation type. I'm trying to build this so people can, once we get the people playing together, they can kind of catch on themselves. You know what I mean? But there's a section that says join. Okay, and when you hit that section, it says 3 levels of membership, and the platinum level of membership will open up everything. Now, the things that don't open means that I'm still developing them, and that's some of the conversations that we need to have, is to help me develop some of the lesson plans, you know what I'm saying? All right, type of thing. But so when you hit membership, when you hit join, hit platinum membership, and it's going to ask for $795, right? But underneath that, it says access code or discount code, right? Put in the word SPEAR 411, SPEAR with a capital S, SPEAR 411. That's the access code for a free membership. Okay, and it's going to think you put in $795. Okay, right, and that will give you access that you can go in and you can spend the weekend when you get some time. You can poke around, open this, open that. You'll see the types of workshops. You'll see, and then when we meet again, you'll have poked around, and then I can show you some of the, how it's kind of like built from the inside up, like, how it, like what each workshop means and how, because it's the goal setting system is called the Spear Success System, and that's the goal setting system. I'll send you an article called How Behavior Change Works, and this neuroscientist calls it iteration, but that's exactly, and meaning that you're iterating your goals on a week-to-week basis. They call it iteration, right? I named it years ago habituation, but really it's and when you see the stack it, pack it, evaluate, and reattack it, that's my program, and that's what she's talking about, right? When you see the article, so you'll see that, and then you'll see workshops. It says effectiveness workshops, and you'll see the different topics, and some of them are more. I've been excavating these workshops out of my computer for the last year, so I've been posting them and whatever, and some of them are more fleshed out than others, but I got to take each workshop and have like a workshop committee, and so we can get the workshops more into lesson plans, so everyone can, and that's where I am right now, and getting the communities built. So anyway, so you can get in, you can poke around. My email, I'll send you an email with that article, and then in my email it says book a Zoom call. We can do another Zoom, so you can get into the mechanics of it, and then next week when I open up the communities, business development, family empowerment, and youth empowerment, we'll get you in the communities and we'll start the collaboration.
All right, that's perfect. I really, really appreciate your time. I gotta get something to eat. I haven't had a chance to eat yet, so then I'm gonna watch some football. So
I snuck in a chicken slider from Rural Farm before we started.
I haven't eaten yet, so I'm about to get
Royal
some
Farm.
But yeah, this is definitely thank you. Thank you for taking the time
welcome
to connect
and
with us.
I know you're not going to agree with me, but go Eagles!
I don't know. It's football, so I just like watching it. I'm going to watch it. So.
Well, anyway, I feel again. Thank you again for your time.
All right.
I'm going to be happy that we spoke. And oh, by the way, when you open up testimonials, you'll see Tanya first one.
Okay.
I saw that on there.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I did.
All right. Thank you.
I'll talk to you soon. Enjoy the
All right.
weekend.
All right.
You
Thank
too.
you. Good night.
Bye.
What do you think?
I'm very intrigued.
I see